Lawsuits are not uncommon in crypto. There is little wonder why this would be so. It could ultimately stem from any dimension or for any reason. The crypto space is one that started with a lot of uncertainties. There were so many variables that barely made any sense to the general populace. This meant that people tended to seek clarity and opportunity wherever it appeared to exist. This formed a good cover for fraudulent activities, and people got duped, losing their savings and investments to any Dick and Harriet that seemed to pop up with a scam done in the name of crypto. The regulatory bodies were in as much darkness as we all were at the start. They couldn't fight what they didn't understand. The buck now fell to determine how they would perform their duties in a space that ultimately exists outside their operational basics. No agency can directly account for which part of the crypto industry specifically falls under any of their fundamental principles as it relates to how cryptos are produced and valued. They were reduced to filtering out suspected cases of fraud or Ponzi schemes that could endanger the financial interest of investors and, well, there happens to always be an investor waiting to be safe from the clutches of predators. The crypto industry was seen as a different battleground that didn't play by anyone's rules or code of conduct. The need to find relevance might have moved most regulatory bodies to focusing on fraud-related acts or something similar, while also trying to find a way in which it can operate in regulating the crypto industry. Left with no choice, it's not hard to see why the SEC would be sniffing around exchanges for hot trails for imposing on the crypto industry. While we appreciate the energy committed to ensuring the safety of investors, it's becoming apparent with the recent line of action of the SEC, evident in their treatment of Ripple, that they will not hesitate to draw blood any chance they get. A sort of desperation has dug right into the system that made them probably fling out wildly and seek a common scapegoat to target first before aiming for other parts of the crypto industry. Ripple happened to fall right in the net, and it became difficult to get back out. Welcome back to Make Money Online. Today we'll be looking at whether or not Ripple can win the individual SEC lawsuits. We'll also be looking at the winning argument prepared by Ripple Counsel and the direction the lawsuit could take. Do we expect a victory for Ripple? I guess we'll see about it. We'll also be looking at the latest XRP news as well as other interesting XRP analysis and price predictions. If you're watching a video on this channel for the very first time, I will suggest that you make sure you also watch all of our other videos on XRP. In the meantime, don't forget to like and share this video and hit the subscribe button to get notifications every time we post a new video. December 2020 launched a whole new chapter in the history of Ripple and XRP. Financial regulatory giant SEC launched a scathing attack on Ripple, and this ultimately affected XRP, which is the native token of the XRP ledger, which is the basic software behind all of Ripple's major operational platforms that are used in facilitating cross-border transactions. That's about as deep as the relationship between Ripple and XRP goes. The SEC capitalized on this and sued Ripple Labs and its leading executives, Chairman Chris Larsen and CEO Brad Garlinghouse, for trading illegal securities. This resulted in a case that may take years in a regular court, not counting appeals as well as suspensions and adjournments. The opportunity to settle out of court came and went, with either side not ready to stand down, and now a full-blown trial might just be inevitable. The case with XRP seems somewhat experimental, as the direction of the case would give the SEC insight into how to mitigate the crypto market, whether the crypto is new or already established. Contrary to this, the SEC had previously declared that Bitcoin and Ethereum were not securities. This doesn't say anything about other cryptocurrencies, at least not yet. This could be an omen that all cryptos outside the big two are under potential threat from the SEC. Hence, when Ripple Labs announced their intention to fight back, it was met with a degree of hope as well as equal skepticism in some circles of the crypto industry. As the defendants, Ripple naturally disagrees with this accusation and is ready to substantiate their arguments. Both Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larsen filed a letter to dismiss the SEC's amended complaint. As reported by CNF, the SEC amended its statement of claim due to a lack of facts to support their charges. The letter is a pre-filing motion letter requested by Judge Torres. Jeremy Hogan, one of the notable advocates of the XRP community, emphasized that the outcome of the motion does not have to be a determinant of the trial itself. He says a side may lose motions to dismiss and still end up claiming victory in the lawsuit. He believes that the onus falls on the attorneys representing Garlinghouse and Larsen to show that the lawsuit doesn't go sideways in any case. This came to light following the reported amendments of the complaint by the SEC, which claimed that both of them aided and abetted the sale of unregistered securities. Aiding and abetting is a serious accusation, and this meant they were witnesses to a crime or partook in it or assisted the culprit in getting away with it. Hogan continued by saying that if they stated that the act was knowingly committed, it could be a winning argument for Garlinghouse and Larson. There is naturally no way for the SEC to present any physical proof as evidence of this wrongdoing anyway. According to the article, Ripple's legal team can point to an incident that happened in 2015 when Garlinghouse joined Ripple as COO. He entered into a public enforcement settlement with the Department of Justice and FinCEN, which is a division of the U.S. Treasury Department and part of the U.S. government. The basis was that XRP is a virtual currency. In view of this, Ripple agreed to undertake remedial steps applicable to currency transactions and inapplicable to securities transactions, according to the letter. In addition, since the pre-trial conference, the letter also states that a major exchange approached the SEC about whether XRP is a security. The reply given by the agency was that it is not a known fact yet. You ask why the case is still in court? The SEC is bound to face real problems to prove that Garlinghouse and Larson either knew or recklessly disregarded that XRP was a security. If they keep pushing the aiding and abetting argument, they're bound to lose, and this may mean that they seek to make amendment to the lawsuit agenda again. XRP has been relatively quiet since the SEC pre-trial hearing that was on February 22nd. After the case, the price per XRP dropped from 57 cents all the way down to 36.8 cents. XRP didn't see a single candle close underneath the 40 cents level, which equals very bullish momentum. From here, the analyst expects XRP to regain the monthly support level at 47.9 cents. It has already regained the 45-cent level of support and looks like this momentum is going to continue upwards until it caps out at 51.7 cents and wicks the downtrend to create the third touch on the trend and confirm it as a proper downtrend. By the middle of March, XRP should be clearly over 47.9 cents monthly support and just about ready to break out of this wedge, going long towards the local high and newer highs. XRP looks like it's already bottomed out, and now would be a good time to enter long for your position. Just like the famous Warren Buffett quote, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful." Right now, everyone is fearful in XRP and not greedy. You should be stacking your bags while the sentiment is low and there is fear in the market. So by the time the market makers reverse the coin on us, you are already in a position and chilling on your long, making that easy profit. In this chart, we'll see what we can long for in the price trend of XRP for the next weeks to months, and also in the short term. Looking at the 1-hour and 4-hour time frames, we see that XRP has formed a shoulder-head-shoulder inverted pattern. That means that XRP is heading into its next bull movement towards two targets at 50 cents and 60 cents. Also, we see that XRP is in the accumulation zone. The price is around 45 cents. The only bad news is that it's the only cryptocurrency that may not be easy to trade, since most exchanges delisted or halted its trades. In the daily chart, we see that XRP has formed a symmetric triangle zone. That's an accumulation zone for the next few weeks or months. As XRP is in the lower zone of the support line, it's leading towards the objective of 60 cents in the short term. It's quite close with its price around 45 cents. Another perspective is that XRP is in the accumulation zone and that we see that it's positioned to explode soon. For that, there is a good opportunity to reaccumulate more XRP coins, if you haven't bought it. Don't miss this zone before XRP goes to $1. The long-term XRP forecast is projected at $1.45, and that is an upswing of about 140%. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click on that notification bell so you can get updates whenever we post a new video. What do you think of these latest developments? What are the chances of Ripple XRP going forward? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And while you're here, go ahead and check out one of the videos on your screen. See you next time.
Hollywood Carson.